This is JC DeLass with this week's Fidelis Care Coaches Corner. And joined this week, our special guest is Randall, now in his 16th season as head coach men's lacrosse at Nazareth College.
Thank you, JC.
Coach, as a graduate of Nazareth College, do you feel like that gives you a unique perspective when you're recruiting student athletes to your program?
I think it does to some degree, JC. I think the fact that I've been through it and have a pretty good understanding of the classes and the environment, the community, the people around here, I think it does give me a little bit of an advantage.
You were a player here at Nazareth, had great success, now coaching, also successful. Which do you think has been more enjoyable for you, a player in the success or coach in success?
Well, it's always great to be a player, but in my opinion, there's no better place to coach, and I enjoy working here. I love Nazareth, I love what we stand for, and certainly love the guys in the team. So that's just as enjoyable.
Has this been what you've always wanted to do, be a coach, or was there ever anything else you thought about doing?
You know, that's a good question. I remember in high school I wrote a paper, not a very good paper, but I did write a paper on what I wanted to do and talked specifically about wanting to be a college coach. And but you know, you're never quite sure as a kid, and fortunately when I was done playing, Scott Nelson, the head coach at the time, had asked me to stay on as a coach, and I got a little taste of coaching, and I loved it, and was pursuing some other things at the time, but ended up coming back to something that I love to do.
You mentioned Coach Nelson. Would you say he's your coaching mentor? Is that the guy that you probably learned the most from?
Certainly one of them. You know, not the only one, but I learned a great deal from Coach Nelson, and tried to carry on a lot of the traditions that he started here. You know, here now that we're in our 30th year, we still hold some of those true to our heart. What
was the number one lesson that Coach Nelson taught you?
There's a lot of them, but probably the one that stands out the most is that, you know, you have to work hard each and every day, and there's really no such thing as a minor detail.
When you're recruiting student athletes here to Nazareth, is there a certain type of kid you're looking for that you think will fit in with your program?
We certainly are looking for the athletic student athlete. You know, having a skilled lacrosse player helps, but if you are an athlete and you're playing maybe multiple sports in high school, in my eyes, that's a bonus.
You talked about coaching here at Nazareth and how much you love it. What's the hardest part about being a lacrosse coach these days, especially with everything that's going on in society? What's the most difficult part of your job?
I would say, you know, from a recruitment standpoint, trying to identify the kids. There's so many kids out there. That's always a challenge. And then the fact that the sport has grown so much that, you know, there's 235 or 240 Division III teams playing lacrosse right now, and there's a lot of really good ones, and there's a lot of really good, talented young coaches out there that are recruiting their butts off, and you know, that doesn't make our jobs any easier.
No place you'd rather be though, right, Coach?
No place I'd rather be.
You bet. Good to see you again.
Thank you, JC.
Thank you for joining us, head coach Randall, and thank you for joining us for this week's Fidelis Care Coaches Corner.